Hello and welcome to the North Bank podcast. I'm your host, Ollie. I'm joined by Stef and Chris. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Good evening.
We're recording this one a little bit early. It's a Wednesday evening and we're previewing the Liverpool game, which doesn't take place till Sunday. So the full caveat at the moment is anything we say may well change over the next few days with regards to team news, injury updates and actual purchases. And I'm thinking of Liverpool in particular. The links back with Madueke resurfaced today. But even if they were to sign him, I can't imagine him starting our game. But anyway, so there's the caveat. We're recording quite early. We are also recording on Wednesday night, and Chris has a bit of a score update, don't you, Chris?
Yeah, but this could all, go to pot if... It's Grimsby 1, Manchester United 0, and we've had a good laugh about that. It may well turn into, a thumping for Grimsby, but let's hope not.
If it was happening to us, they'd be laughing too. So, it's football.
At this moment in time, we're enjoying it.
Yeah, it is 8:27. There's 28 minutes gone in the game, just so you're not listening or watching us Thursday, Friday, thinking, what are these Muppets on about? Just for the record. On that, if you are listening to us, which is great, do consider popping over to watch us also on YouTube. Aesthetically, I've removed my mausoleum background and I've just got a white background, but it seems to have lightened my complexion somewhat, which I believe was necessary for the mood. So do watch us, come over and watch on YouTube. And even if you don't stick with watching us on YouTube, do give us a follow or a subscribe on YouTube. I've set us a very ambitious target of getting up to 1,000 followers by Christmas. We're quite some way off that at the moment, but you have to go to YouTube to find out how many we are on, because I know the curiosity is going to get the better of you now. See what I did there? It's clever. Anyway, thank you very much for that. Right. Before we talk about the Liverpool game in particular, it is the wind down to the transfer deadline day, 5 days to go. We've signed 7 players, which is quite remarkable, plus Max Dowman to integrate into the first team squad. So 8 players to bed in. 3 first team starters, you'd argue, Zubimendi, Gyökeres, and who am I missing? Eze, obviously. And then Madueke pushing it, and then the rest supporting or reinforcing the squad side of things. I was thinking that would be it. But the latest news involves or centres around the Bayer Leverkusen Ecuadorian 23-year-old left-back. Now, it wouldn't be a transfer window without a left-back. Piero Hincapié. Apologies if I've got his name wrong. I've heard some people pronounce the H and other people not pronounce the H, so I'm at a bit of a loss as to how to pronounce his name. But he's a very rapid left-back who would provide the overlapping runs that would maybe suit an Eze-style position player. He has, by and large, played as on the left of a back three for Leverkusen last season. He's a German Bundesliga champion, and he has played at left back as well. And he's rapid, apparently, and he's a highly rated player, highly sought after player as well. And it would be remiss of me not to highlight the fact that Spurs had negotiated with Leverkusen and with the player for weeks, as it seems to be their want. And we just decided, do you know what? We'll have him. And sorry, I've been interrupted by my live BBC update. Chris?
It's Grimsby Town 2, Manchester United 0.
You're kidding.
30 minutes. T. Warren. Well done, Mr. T. Warren.
I'm thinking that Dan Burns gets around, doesn't he? He assisted the first goal.
It's wonderful. Yes, D. Burns.
Grimsby's not far from Newcastle, is it, really? In the overall scheme of things, that general direction. Maybe he's...
just smells
he's
of
a
fish
ringer.
a bit more, doesn't it?
Sorry, I got completely sidelined by that Grimsby update. I'm not laughing. It's not funny. Tumbleweed.
Oh, dear.
Can you imagine if we get drawn against Grimsby in the next round?
Well, bring it on if it means they've put United out.
Yeah, the lols. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, now the signing or potential signing, he's got a £50 million release clause. We're not prepared to pay that, and I think Leverkusen are realistic enough to understand that. But that's their starting point. So it'll come down a little bit, but maybe not a huge amount from there. It's also requiring us to sell. Now, the Kivior to Porto links are strong. In fact, at one point he was going to fly over to Porto yesterday, but that didn't happen for whatever reason. So it's a deal, and it's a loan with an obligation to buy, as is the Piero Hincapié deal, a loan with an obligation to buy, and that's just to get into a different accounting year. But we did it with Raya and Brentford, so it seems to be not a kind of accepted policy or options to negotiate in that fashion. Nelson is in talks with Crystal Palace. He's quite keen. Palace don't want to pay the £15 million that we've valued him at. Oh, the Kivior's €26 million with the obligation to buy, plus a significant, was the word used, loan fee. Now, I don't know I said plus. I don't know if it is plus or whether that 26 million incorporates the significant loan fee. Look, I think it's a bit undervalued for Kivior. I think 15 million for Nelson is a good bit of business, to be honest, especially considering his injury record and high wages. But the serious point is, because we've bought all these players, I care a lot less now about how much we get for these sales. I think it's about developing our reputation as not a soft touch with regards to sales, and so that potential purchasing clubs approach us and aren't expecting us to roll over for them. And it's about building that, like whatever the Berta quote was I read out last pod. I can't remember it word.
Well, I was just going to say, in relation to the Reece Nelson valuation at £15 million, because it's Palace, Berta knows that they've got money because we've just given them 60 odd million for Eze. So he's going to turn around and go, govern yourself accordingly.
I love that.
It's so good.
And the thing about Nelson, and I know that's a big condition, but if he were to stay fit, he's a dangerous player. And he would go some way to mitigating the loss of Eze for them, because they would can occupy very similar positions as well. But anyway, and yes, they have got money to burn there. So I haven't heard that there's rumours about Lokonga to Trabzonspor, I think, but that would only be on loan, which is fine. I'm not expecting a fee for him. Zinchenko's gone quiet. Vieira's gone quiet. I think it will be a busy 5 days before the deadline on Monday. But I don't. So my agitation isn't there, because I thought that we needed to sell to sign someone like Eze, but that wasn't the case. So I'm a lot more relaxed about the prices we get. I do think we need to improve as a selling club, absolutely. But it's not paramount, because we've done our business, and what business we have done, I mean, it is incredible. Look, that squad is like insanely good. It's got to work. Arteta's got to get it to work, and the potential, settling in periods and system adjustments, because we can play two very different systems in the same game. Like Gyökeres playing and Eze playing could be a very different game to Havertz playing and Madueke playing, for example. So it's again getting that balance right and getting the game situation right. But wow, like what a great problem to have. We've got a lot of potential fixes for whatever problems are presented to us on a game by game basis. How are you guys, Steph? Start with you. How are you feeling about the remainder of the transfer window, and maybe reflect on what we've done so far as well?
Well, it's a bit like we were talking about the injury situation last time, that last season, if they'd hit, we were tearing our hair out. Whereas because we've made the purchases, it feels less tense and less pressured, because ultimately it's about assembling the squad to do something. If we have a couple of extra players that we are unable to find a home for, and they do remain, then fine. That, it's not necessarily ideal. We could have one or two surplus, and like you said before, Chris, that what you want is a squad lean enough for people to feel like they're competing and that they're involved and that they're happy with. And it might be difficult to get that exactly right, but what club does get it perfect, to be honest? So the fact that we've got the players in that we essentially wanted, I can't be anything other than pretty happy with the way things are.
Can I just add something I forgot?
It's not 3-0, is it?
No. Name the club who sell, that we kind of measure ourselves by in terms of sales.
In terms of sales?
Yeah, this transfer window, we've kind of been name checking a couple of players from this club.
Well, it's probably Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool. I saw a graphic do the rounds. You may have seen it in the last day or two.
Yes.
In the last 5 years, we've actually netted more from sales than Liverpool, which was a bit of a shock. I think it was Tom Canton put that out. So just as a kind of pause for thought a little bit before we start name checking Tyler Morton and so on.
I actually thought you were going to talk about another graphic, and it's one that Sky Sports put out, which was about squad value.
Yeah.
So it's a very simple thing, and the thing with stats is obviously if you change the parameters, you can sort of tell a different story slightly. But essentially, it added up all the purchase prices of all the players that are currently in the team squads, and then estimated their market value. So ours came out highest in terms of market value compared to the difference of what they were purchased. And as we've said before, a lot of that is probably to do with our young players. If you think the likes of Saka, Lewis Skelly, Waneri, even maybe Dowman would command a certain value now, but essentially that gives us huge. I mean, Saka on today's market, if Isak is being talked as 150 million, he's not going to be a million miles away from that, if at all. So, yeah, it's we probably are overly critical because we don't necessarily, caught headlines in the way that those unknown Liverpool players do. But it is what it is.
Chris, how are you feeling?
I'm delighted, and particularly, I mean, Eze was the cherry on the cake, and then now this left back. I just think, as Steph said, just to reiterate, I do think there needs to be that kind of leanness in the squad, and just now the competition for places. We're really not looking at backups anymore. That's the way I see it. Okay, you can say Saka is preferred, but the drop off is so marginal now, and it's just a new culture now of alternatives rather than just backups. Look at the left back position now. The viable options at left back, if we get this guy in as well, MLS, Calafiori, Kiviorov's obviously going to go, but they're all of a level. They all offer something different, and that's what we want, is just to be able to plug and play players where there's no drop off, but just a slight variation in their profile.
Well, arguably, we don't have a traditional left back.
No, we don't. No. This guy has played at centre. Like you said, he's a left-sided in a 3. But
he is he would be the only or the first proper.
Yeah. His build and everything suggests it's a bit more,
he's
like
only
a traditional.
He's only 5'11".
Only. Yeah.
We are the team of the giants. Do you think you mentioned Miles Lewis Skelly? Now I can't say he's struggled for minutes this season so far, but he hasn't started the first 2 games. Calafiori has. He did come on for Calafiori against Leeds. We buy Hincapié. What does that do to Miles Lewis Skelly? And the wider point, how do you keep such a highly talented squad happy? Chris?
Nice problem to have, isn't it? That you've got, like I said, Arteta will be looking at this thinking, exactly that, and he will be planning ahead and thinking, well, I'll rotate them in 60 minutes substitution. We'll have 3 games a week soon where we'll be able to, one of them will get injured. I think that's the way he'll look at it. He won't see it as a problem, and neither do I. I just think they've all bought into this as well. That's the other thing to mention with this. Nketiah's made it clear he very much wants Arsenal.
Only Arsenal. Right,
which we've heard many times before. And they won't be stupid. They know they won't be coming in and playing every game and be the kind of, concrete in that position. No one's going to shift them. That's not how it works anymore. You're part of this very competitive squad. So I see it as a positive. And like you've said many times, Holly, prove yourself. If you want to be on the starting 11, prove yourself, and that kind of competition, that healthy competition, can only be a good thing.
And so long as it is a meritocracy, if you do well, you are rewarded. You don't want the manager having favourites, which, I mean, it's inevitable, understandable to some degree. But, and the thing is, someone like Mosquera, 70 La Liga games across 2 seasons, and he knows he's coming to a team where he's not going to start.
Yeah,
that's someone. To contrast that with Sesko, Mosquera's backing himself. Madueke backing himself. This Nketiah backing himself. Whereas Sesko didn't come to us last summer because he didn't think he'd get enough minutes up against Havertz.
I think also, just to build on that, even if you are playing well and you've maybe had a run of a few games, there's no reason why you shouldn't be rotated out for someone else in the way that the peak City teams were rotated, and when they were blowing us away a few seasons ago, when they really did have 2 excellent players in every position almost, that's what we're aiming at, is that you would be able to rotate a player who's on form. There's no reason to drop them on a form basis, but you're just saying, no, I prefer Marino to Bryce for this game, or whatever it might be.
But actually, you might prefer to come on for the last 30 minutes against a tiring defence. Games opened up more opportunity for you to get your name on the score sheet. If you're thinking about it in that sense, I guess with Havertz's injury, Gyökeres and Jesus, Gyökeres is our only number 9. So, I mean, we can play false nines. I mean, Trossard can play there. I don't think he suits it, but he has played there. Martinelli, we think, could probably do a decent job there as well.
Do you know the last time he did?
Liverpool.
Liverpool away, end of last season. He did all right.
Squad.
Can I just come in on a couple of those things about the squad and the issue that we might have? I think there's a couple of things. One, where we've been talking for nearly 2 years now about changing our mentality of this thing about players being dropped, and I think you're absolutely right, and I think we are in that position now to certainly think that way. And what I'm hoping for is a little bit of evolution, that different combinations of players in certain parts of the pitch can be utilised in different ways. You were saying before we started recording, Holly, because you'd done a bit of a look into this in Nketiah's coming from Leverkusen, that he's a bit more traditional in the way he plays his fullback position. He's a bit front foot. He'll go and overlap a winger more likely than step into midfield. And that could be set up to complement Eze a little bit more, who likes to come inside, as opposed to Madueke, Martinelli, who hug the touchline. But it's that kind of detail that hopefully we can be looking for. Lewis Skelly has got age on his side. I'm not going to worry about his development for a good couple of years, because he came off the bench against Leeds, and he'll continue to get plenty of minutes for an 18-year-old at a team that is one of the favourites for the likes of the Premier League
competition
and the Champions League. Yes, absolutely. Just on Nketiah as well, I think, because you said about how do you keep these players happy, it is quite notable for a couple of reasons that Leverkusen are losing a lot of players, because they did it. They went unbeaten in Germany for a season, and they won the cup double as well. Now, aside from challenging Bayern over a long period of time, what more possibly could they do? The other factor is Ten Hag is the manager.
Yes,
and I feel like there's a definite... It cannot be a coincidence that players are just going, I'm all right, thanks, I think I'll move on. And Leverkusen are going to cash in. You know, they're going to make a lot of money from their sales, and that will set them up for a long time.
Xhaka said he was staying, and then obviously had a few training sessions with Ten Hag and said, I'm not staying, I'm going. I'm going to Sunderland.
To Sunderland.
Oh, since that documentary, I love Sunderland. Yeah. They're my second favourite team. I'm delighted they've come up. Yeah. I thought that original documentary, what was it called? Sunderland Till I Die or something like that. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Didn't think I would at all. I had zero expectations going into watching that. Absolutely loved it. So I've kind of, I'm happy for Sunderland, and let them not take points off us though. Anyway, okay. Chris, do you think we'll sign? Do you think we will sell or loan these players that we need to?
I think overall, I agree with what you said earlier about it's got to a point now where we shouldn't really be looking to squeeze and barter too much. I said this before. You know, it's so much more about the culture of the squad and the state of that. You know, from the point of view of just an environment. We're not looking to make, you know, we're not a selling club culturally anyway. We're a buying club. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world.
We're not dependent upon our sales.
No. So I just think get rid of them in the nicest possible way. You know. It would probably go down to the last day.
Footballistically,
yes.
Not end their lives.
No, exactly. Push them off a cliff. But I just feel like it's got to that point now. It will probably go down to the last day, as it always does. But I expect we'll get rid of, as you said, Steph, there'll probably be one or two that haven't quite made it over the line, and we'll just have to deal with that.
And you talked about the culture of the club. I think that's a really good. Well, it's very important. It's a very valid point as well. I didn't realise someone put through a tweet that had a little montage of current first team Arsenal players wearing the Arsenal jersey as kids. Zubimendi has an Arsenal jersey. I didn't know that. I was like, oh, really? Oh, fantastic. Now, unless his parents just put him in every single big team's kit just in case he were to sign for any of them, so they could trot that out. But Saliba's famously an Arsenal fan. Zinchenko's an Arsenal fan. Zubimendi. Who am I missing? I know Eze, of course. Marino. Yes. That's right. You know, ones you wouldn't assume to be Arsenal fans, like Ethan and Miles. And
if you think there's no coincidence, when were they kids and when were we, rocking?
Is that? I don't know. I think are they not?
Well, they're like mid-20s. So when they were toddlers and growing up, 4, maybe 5 years old.
I mean, Eze's favourite player was Henry.
Yeah.
As we found out in that lovely little video with Ian Wright. And signed the petition, statue for Ian Wright. Come on.
With Rocky.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he'd love that for obvious reasons. But
do you want to tell anyone who might be listening that isn't aware of that campaign?
Yeah, I don't know who started. Do you guys know who started? I can't name. I can't.
No, I don't know the actual profile now. You mentioned
it might be useful if we had that.
I'll do a quick Google.
And apparently, it's actually
is it one of those proper petition things that you can go online?
It's not actually an Arsenal fan, right. I believe. And I heard Amy Lawrence talking about it first. That there is a petition to have Ian Wright as the next recipient of a statue outside the stadium before, whilst he's still alive.
Well, if we find out, we should put it in the show notes so people can can go there.
Okay, we are looking ahead to quite a big game on Sunday at Anfield. You're going, Steph, aren't you?
I am going. My first away game of the season. Away and Steph is back.
Excellent. It's at 4:30 kick-off on Sunday.
Yes, 4:30 kick-off on a Sunday on Sky Sports. So I hope it's actually quite a dreadful game. I hope every game that we're televised in is really boring, and
it's not going to be boring.
Just annoys Sky Sports. Oh, no,
it's just not going to be boring. Before we talk about the actual game, I have a quiz.
Do you?
I know, shock horror.
Shock.
Think about, and we'll come back to it, think about the 8 players who've represented both clubs in the Premier League era. 8 players.
Down, haven't I?
Okay. I thought, yeah. I'll say you know all the players.
Good.
There's 1 or 2 names that there'll be a blast from the past, and you'll be like, oh yeah, kind of thing. Anyway, 8 players have represented both clubs in the Premier League era. In terms of team news ahead of the weekend for Liverpool, Frimpong is likely to be missing, which might mean Szoboszlai, who did okay against Newcastle, might fill in at right back, or Conor Bradley came on for him, and so either one of them could play at right back. It depends on how Slop, I was going to call him
Slop.
Klopp and
It's
Slot.
like an amalgam of both. I like that.
Slop. Just call him Slop. How I'm going to say right, Slot, just so you can clip that first bit for me. Thanks, Steph.
Or Clot. You could have Clot.
I think slop is
Slop
slightly
is
more offensive.
Yeah. We'll stay with that.
Inadvertently, I hasten to add. It depends on how Slot views us in terms of which player he opts for at right back. Kerkez has been a bit iffy at left back. His start to the season. Now, the first game against Bournemouth, he predominantly played as on the left side of a back 3 because Gravenberch wasn't playing, and so who's playing? Ekitike and Wirtz and Gakpo in front of him. He had to kind of curtail his attacking instincts. Against Newcastle, Gravenberch came back in and he played a more traditional left-back position, but Liverpool did not play well against Newcastle. Newcastle were very physical, very tight, very organised, and Liverpool struggled. All aspects, all facets of the Liverpool team, so the defence, the midfield and the attack, all struggled against Newcastle. I don't know whether they're 2 quite emotional clubs, and that's something that's been levelled at us as well, that we're an emotional team, too emotional club, whatever. I don't know whether that was an issue for Liverpool. You'd be surprised if it was, considering their experience. I mean, Van Dijk was the only one who wasn't rattled at all, which is really annoying that he seems to have started the season as he finished last season. But, we can but hope. Salah's been quite quiet. Ekitike is the one that's really impressed, and I wonder, has that given Liverpool pause for thought? Because if Isak comes in for 120 plus million, he's going to start. And Ekitike either plays wide on the left or he's on the bench. And he's
who's
got 3
the
goals.
alternative?
Gakpo.
Not a true 9 though, is he?
I'm not sure any of them are.
No. I mean, Ekitike is a striker, but he does the Henry. He kind of peels to the left, like Isak does as well. So basically, Isak and Ekitike have almost identical player profiles. So the two, if you're squeezing the 2 of them into the starting 11, one of them is playing out of position, but not so out of position it's going to be an issue necessarily.
I also wonder if Liverpool are factoring in the fact that Salah will be at the
Africa Cup of Nations,
and Egypt tend to do well, so
6 weeks could be 6 weeks gone.
Yep.
Yeah, let's hope. Come on, Egypt.
I think pretty much. Before the Newcastle Liverpool game, we were all saying lots of red cards and injuries, but they all happened for Newcastle. I should have specified it was Liverpool I wanted them for, but Newcastle did kind of step up in that sense. They've kind of got a clean bill of health, Liverpool, apart from Frimpong. McAllister will return to the team. I did hear one reporter say he'd had a minor injury, but then I'm sure the commentator said that his missus gave birth and that's why he missed the Newcastle game. But I might have been dreaming that, I don't know. But I think McAllister will come back in. And that makes them a lot more solid in midfield with Gravenberch and McAllister there. So their midfield won't quite be as easy to get through as Newcastle found, even with 10 men. I mean, what was that stat, from the goal onwards, that Liverpool didn't have a shot on target until like injury time or something like that. I don't know. It was really quite impotent, their attack, even their attack. But it's Anfield, and we don't have a great track record there. If you're offering me, if I take the draw now, which is quite defeatist, but I just, 7 points from those 3 games. I think that would be a good haul from our opening 3 games, 7 points, and we've got Anfield and Old Trafford out of the way. But Steph, you're on your way to the game. How are you feeling about the game? We are 4 days out, so that's...
To be honest, I'm not really thinking about it. I've been incredibly busy. I watched.
Think about it now.
I will. I watched the Newcastle-Liverpool game with great interest. I haven't watched a neutral game so fixatedly for quite a while. It was quite good drama, to be honest. And like you say, they've played only a few days out before our game. We've got a couple of extra days on them. That was an incredibly emotional game for them. And I don't know, like we said sort of afterwards, because we were so annoyed that Newcastle, having got the equaliser, then went chasing a winner, which was absolutely ridiculous. But the idea of Liverpool scoring these late goals after conceding is not necessarily sustainable. I've been quite surprised that they have stacked the attack so much, seemingly at the cost of midfield and defensive reinforcements, because the thing I praised Slot for last season was steadying the ship. It's like he'd taken all that Klopp had done with that intensity that he sort of built, the heavy metal football as he coined it, and just put the handbrake on a little bit so that Liverpool had that perfect balance of control. And, Van Dijk had a very good season, but so did Salah. So they seemed to have that balance and they just kept winning. This season, yes, they're winning, but boy, Bournemouth had a go, Newcastle had a go, and they just scraped by. Is that sustainable? I hope not, but yeah, it must be a bit worrying for them.
Or are they just playing poorly and winning at the start of the season before they get into their rhythm?
Well, that's the worry, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just going to say that's the thing for me. It's not a case of when, but if. Rather not if, but when they hit their stride, and hopefully it's not on Sunday.
We did say the same thing about Man City last season, though, and they kept losing.
People forget that they did start okay, Man City. They started pretty well, yeah. So,
Chris, feeling confident, would you take a draw now if I offered it to you?
In all honesty, yes. But I do still feel bullish that we could go there and win, and it wouldn't be a surprise.
Isn't that amazing? We're saying that knowing Saka's not playing.
Yeah, I mean it's slightly frustrating, but yeah.
He hasn't played particularly well, but scored, because can do what he did in that moment against Leeds. You want him on the pitch.
Yeah. It's the old Ian Wright thing: keep him on for 80 and keep him quiet for 89 minutes, and then bang. So yeah, it's a shame we're missing him, but we've got the depth. We do have enough to go and win.
Okay, so with reference to the depth we've got, and bearing in mind that we are recording this on a Wednesday evening, so we don't have the latest team news or injury. I had no idea what the situation with Ben White is.
Well, there was a training session today, and a few of the reporters, so the likes of Tom Canton, who you mentioned earlier, just made a note of who was there, who wasn't there. So no White, Trossard, and there was someone else, can't remember who, and the usual long-term ones, so that would be Havertz and Jesus. But yeah, so White.
And Saka, and we know Saka's not playing.
Sorry, yeah.
And Ødegaard we don't know about, but Norway have called Ødegaard up for their squad. It doesn't mean he can't be withdrawn from their squad, but they've called him up, so they're not. They're more positive or optimistic that his injury is not anything more serious than impact, 1 week, whatever. So, Chris, what kind of team does that leave us with then?
You want my team? Okay.
Yes, please. That's what happens at this part.
Well, okay, so we've got Raya in goal. We've got Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and MLS at left back.
You said Timber as if there was a tree falling.
Yeah, okay, it's like a reflex. I the idea of Calafiori and up against Salah brings me out in hives. I know he's great going forward, but I prefer MLS just got that kind of lower centre of gravity and won't get turned quite so quickly, I hope.
Okay, on that, who do you play in front of him? Who are you playing wide on the left?
Martinelli.
Right, okay. So does that mitigate Calafiori a little bit? If you got Martinelli...
If Calafiori was playing, does it? Well, if you're caught on a transition and Martinelli's forward, then that's him out of the game and you're looking at one-on-one with MLS. That's my concern, as happened with Zinchenko, I think, a couple of seasons ago, where he just got turned so easily. So, yeah, I just feel it's a bit more secure.
We had quite a lot of engagement on one of our TikTok posts earlier on today, and one Arsenal fan in particular was quite vocal in saying we should not go to Liverpool and think 85% defence. We should be going to Liverpool and... Yeah, go on, Steph.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say that I lived through the years when Wenger would go to certain away grounds and think 100% attack, and we'd have our absolute pants pulled down. Yeah. 5-1 at Liverpool, 6-3 at Man City, 8-2 at United, 6-0 at Chelsea. I'm okay with a little bit of reservation, thanks.
Yeah, we have to acknowledge the opposition as well.
They are the champions
play to our
for
own
a
strengths.
reason.
Yes,
Salah is the best player in the Premier League last few years, probably easy. Yeah,
and Arteta will do that. It's why we've gone from a team that loses 5-0 at Man City to a team that very unfortunately draws 2-2 last season. You know, it's balance.
It's a balance, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, Chris. So, did you put Lewis Skelly at left back?
I did.
Right. Okay. And in midfield then?
I'm going to mention them as a 2 because that's the way I like to kind of visualise it, which is Zubimendi and Rice, with Ødegaard in the sort of 10 in front of them.
If he's injured, who plays?
It's Nwaneri.
Yeah,
has to be.
Can I stop you on Nwaneri as well then? Also on TikTok, quite a lot of engagement on another clip that went out where I referenced Nwaneri's 100% pass completion rate in the game against Leeds. And quite a few people pointed out that you don't want your number 10 with a 100% pass completion rate, because it means or indicates that they're not attempting the more risk pass, the more creative pass. Where do you...
I think that's harsh. I mean, I was at the game. He was putting some decent balls around. He wasn't risk averse. He was having a go.
Didn't feel like that.
No,
it didn't. No.
And maybe there wasn't the need to as well when they'd sat off. What's he going to do? He's not going to just try speculative balls. He was the metronome.
We were 3-0 up when he came... Oh, no, sorry. We weren't 3-0 up when he came on. We were 1-0 up when he came on. But in that second half where he bedded in, it was all about control. We didn't need to chase the game.
No, exactly.
So now I'm with you on that. I did disagree with the people who were saying that that's not a great stat. Yeah, it is actually. And he's 18 and he's playing in a position that he hasn't played in for the first team before. Like, let's credit what he's done well, and he will evolve and develop. And we're using Ødegaard as the comparison, and Ødegaard's 7 years he's senior. Sorry. So
if the game state's different and we're chasing it and we need him to pull something out of the bag, then maybe you can criticise him being too safe.
He doesn't strike me as that kind of player.
No.
Every time he comes on, like Max Dowman in pre-season and against Leeds, they do something. They want to impact the game, regardless of the game state at the time they come on.
Yeah, and when Eri might reveal himself to be a slightly different kind of attacking midfielder to Ødegaard. Ødegaard is probably the more Ozil-esque type number 10 who's always looking to feed other people, whereas when Eri... For me, he seems like someone who wants lots of little touches at the feet, will happily dribble past a player. He clearly is happy to pull the trigger from distance and shoot from distance. So he just might be a different style.
I have got one area which might be a cause for concern, perhaps, at this stage in his career, and that's his press. I don't know how Ødegaard's press is amazing. It's relentless. and he's their signal. You know,
The
he goes,
orchestrator.
they all go. I'm not sure, and he couldn't be. Like, he's just too inexperienced to be able to do that and conduct that as well as the other part of the game as well. So at Anfield, press could be quite important. So that might be one area that we lose a little bit if Ødegaard is injured. I think if Ødegaard is fit, obviously he plays. But yeah, Nwaneri will be the... I mean, who else could you play there? Think of anyone?
Dowman.
No. Eze, I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
I thought you were
I'm not like one of these
hankering
people
after.
thinking that Dowman's going to play for England in the World Cup or anything. I mean, come on. Give your heads a wobble. Okay, so you've got... Who's your front three then?
Well, Madueke, Gyökeres and Martinelli.
Yeah, and obviously Saka's definitely out.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Chris,
Eze on
Stef,
the bench.
Even Steph. Yes, Eze on the bench.
Crucially,
of course,
yeah.
yes.
Remember, this is me predicting what Arteta will pick. Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori. Ødegaard, if he's fit. I think he will happily make a late call on Ødegaard because he wants that press. Zubimendi and Rice. And then a front three, I've gone the same. Madueke, Gyökeres, Martinelli.
Okay, I've got exactly the same as that, Steph. But what would you play then?
Right.
If not...
What would
Arteta?
I play, or what do I think Arteta will do if Ødegaard's not available?
You've just given me the team you think Arteta will pick, but how would you differ?
If Ødegaard isn't available, it would be Nwaneri, that's all.
So you'd pick the same team Arteta?
I'd pick the same team Arteta would, but I think I would do something differently if Ødegaard wasn't available. My prediction is, if Ødegaard isn't available, I think he brings Marino into midfield. I think he goes a little bit more cautious than we would. I would start Nwaneri. He had a really good game against Leeds. Eze will probably just be held on the bench for now. I think away at Liverpool, he'll want him to get used to things a little bit more before he throws him in from the start. But I would go with Nwaneri. But I think if Ødegaard's not available, Arteta will bring in Marino.
I mean, Marino's got a goal threat in him, certainly.
Size, presence in midfield, which Liverpool so far seem to be lacking a little bit.
Okay, who feeds Gyökeres?
There's
no
Zubimendi,
Saka,
it's Calafiori, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got no Saka, you've got
Rice.
no Ødegaard, you've got no Nwaneri. So who is left?
Well, as we saw in the last game, it doesn't have to come from that sort of final third. It can come from deep, where you've got your left back pinging whoever the left back is, who's told, under instruction, as soon as you get it, transition, just bang it into the channel, because that's what happened on Saturday.
Adrian Clark, ex-Arsenal player, has started doing some tactical videos on YouTube on his own channel, and I watched that, and he was talking about Gyökeres ran the most of any Arsenal player at the weekend, and our players, we noticed it, didn't we? Second half, we were looking for that pass a little bit more. The likes of was where the goal came from, and so we'll get there. And like you say, it can be anyone. It can be the left back. It could be the centre backs. It could be Raya. Playing out from the back. Who knows? But that will be exploited by Gyökeres.
He actually clocked the fastest speed for an Arsenal player in that game. Who clocked the second fastest?
Madueke.
Nope.
Calafiori.
Nope.
David Raya.
Nope.
AirPods Albert. I don't know.
Zubimendi.
Nope.
Oh, come on, just tell us. Who is it?
Max Dowman.
No. Of course it was.
Who?
Bingo.
Get him on the plane.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Just a little update. Still 2-0.
Yeah.
Grimsby.
54 minutes.
Yeah.
I might start a petition to get Max Dowman on the alongside the Ian Wright statue one. I'm joking. I'm like, okay. Chris.
Yeah.
Score prediction.
I desperately want us to win this one, but I'm afraid I'm going 1-1.
Steph.
So I was saying to you before Chris arrived and before we recorded that because of the form of the two teams at the start of this season, anything is possible. Because we haven't conceded yet. albeit, United and Leeds. But Liverpool are scoring on average 3.5 goals a game, and they are harum-scarum. They're fully loaded in attack. So we've had the meanest defence last year. Liverpool had the best attack and have only added more goals to it, it seems. So what on earth is going to happen? And all I can think of is actually the games involving Arsenal and Liverpool, that there are goals at both ends. They tend to be relatively high-scoring affairs. And this is the thing. I think for the first time, I've had this guy talking, my gut. I'm pointing to my gut. He's been just saying things today, and my head has been a little bit more quiet. I'm going 3-2 Arsenal.
Oh, my God.
And I don't know why. I don't know why.
I'm not sure I like this news, Steph.
I think I feel ill.
My world
I think I might be coming down with something.
My world is out of kilter. It's off its axis. I'm not sure I like this news, Steph.
I've watched the 2 Liverpool games. I've watched them both.
Steph.
And it's just chaos.
We have played, or will have played, at Old Trafford and Anfield in our first 3 games, and you've predicted 3 wins. I've spent too much time out in the sun, I think. I need some rain. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. And
I had a gut. My gut's been speaking to me all day. Going
just
3-2.
To compound,
goals.
Just to compound this distorted universe, I've gone for a 2-2.
What?
Again?
Did I do 2-2 before?
No, last season.
Last season was
2-2. Oh,
2-2.
yeah, sorry, right. Okay. Yeah, 2-2. Yeah. I just hope we're the ones equalising.
I
think you're right, though. There's goals in it. I can't, you know. As good as we are defensively, I just don't think... I really don't want anything to happen that's going to get that crowd going. And the team go, do not... roboticize the game. I don't know if that's a word, but as much as you can.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Try and, remove all emotion from it. And that's Arteta on the touchline as much as anything.
He's been relatively subdued.
Yeah, but he caused the problem 2 years ago. Yeah. You know, it was going okay until he wound Klopp up. Or Clot.
And Xhaka did the whole thing with
Yes. So...
but we'll see.
Well, I obviously rarely this happens, but I really hope you're right and I'm wrong. And I'm saying that to Steph, not Chris, which is just bizarre.
I don't know what's up with me.
Chris, me and you've gone for a draw.
Yeah.
And he's gone for a win.
I hope he's right.
I really do hope he's right. Okay. Quiz. Answer.
Right.
Time. Right. 8
I think
players.
I've got 5.
Yeah, I got 5.
Okay, good. Right.
No, 4. I've got 4.
Okay, well, give me one of your 5, Chris.
Sterling.
Oh, yeah. How did I not get that? I've forgotten. Do you know what it is? I've forgotten he played for Arsenal already because he barely did.
He actually played 28 times for us, 119 for Liverpool. Right. Okay.
One thing
Steph.
he did. Anyway, next one for me, Michael Thomas.
Yeah, twice for Arsenal. Just
under the wire.
Just edged in. 111 times for Liverpool. Chris.
The Ox.
Yeah, 181 times for us, 148 times for Liverpool. Steph.
Nicholas Anelka.
Yeah, 72 times for us, 20 times for Liverpool.
That serial shagger Jermaine Pennant.
Allegedly. Yeah, 15 times for us and 72 times for Liverpool, which I was surprised at. But Steph, follow that.
Yossi Benayoun.
Yeah.
Notable Israeli.
22 for us, 120 for them. Right, you're left with 2.
That's where
I think I'm out, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Clues.
Okay, one is an Arsenal legend. A very funny story about his first training session at the club.
Kolo Touré.
285 times for us, 67 for Liverpool.
Forgot he played at Liverpool.
And the other one is the one that is fair enough that you haven't got his name so far. 19 times for us between the years 92 to 94 and once for Liverpool in 91.
Bloody hell. Once for Liverpool in 91.
Was he on loan there or something?
Yeah. No. Yes, maybe. I'm not sure. I remember him as he was an Arsenal fan, and he scored at Highbury. He scored 2 goals in one game, and they're his only goals for the club. And I hope I'm getting the right player. And his celebration, you could see how much it meant to him. A bit like Carl Jenkinson when he scored. He just dropped to his knees and just could not believe this is the culmination of all his boyhood dreams, was to score for Arsenal at Highbury. He shares a name with an former American president.
Oh, Christ. Carter.
Yes.
It's Jimmy Carter.
Oh,
Carter.
God.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter.
Am I right in thinking that he scored the 2 goals in the one game? He just sank to his knees and just clenched fists and couldn't believe it. His brain just wouldn't allow him to celebrate. He just couldn't know what to do. He's just I can't believe it's gone in, kind of thing. Anyway, Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he's still or recently connected.
Still playing.
With the club. Yeah. I have the sense that he's still connected to the club in some way, or up until very recently. It might be one of their overseas centres or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway.
We need to do a Cult Heroes 11 with Jimmy Carter and Richie. Was it Richie Powling?
Richie Powling.
You keep talking to us about.
Got to get Richie Powling in there. My Panini 11 over the years.
Love it.
Or cult heroes who, actually, like Andy Linnigan, who won us a trophy.
Yeah.
Steve Morrow.
Yeah.
That did one thing in their career.
Yeah, but a big thing.
Big thing, yeah. Steve Morrow.
And then break your shoulder. Because Tony Adams.
Julio, was it Baptista? 4 goals at Anfield.
4 at Anfield.
Graham Stack in goal.
Fighting the fan, but that was not for us. That's who was on loan, wasn't it? Saw the fan come running towards him, so he just launched or connected him. They always say goalkeepers are mad. Right, last thing, Champions League draw tomorrow. But Chris, I want to congratulate your countrymen, sort of.
Oh, Paphos, yes.
Paphos have qualified for the Champions League. They've got 2. They're managed by Juan Carlos what's his name? I've written it down. Carcedo. I can't read my writing, as ever. Former assistant coach at Arsenal. And they've got 2 former academy players, Vlad Dragovic and Kostas Pilias. Pilias did play, Dragovic didn't. And one David Luiz, who wasn't in the squad. I don't know, is he injured? He probably is, or he's having his hair done or something. But
I think he's
they've
lost
qualified.
Most of his hair,
Has he? Oh.
Yeah. But
they've qualified for the Champions League, Chris. It must be celebration on the island.
It's They're the other side of the island. They're not. They're the other side of the island from where my family are. But it's still cause for celebration, of course.
Excellent.
If we get them, come on, little trip to Cyprus.
You got a house. We're all over
on the other side of the island. My place, but
it's
Ryanair.
Not that big.
It's not that bloody big.
Ryanair.
I did a moped around the island in about 20 minutes.
It will take you 2 hours to drive from one side to the other, basically.
Okay.
Yeah,
very
but well
slowly.
well done. And it's Paphos. If ever you hear anyone say pathos when they say they've been to Cyprus, they've gone to pathos.
Paphos.
You have my permission to just smack them lightly about the forehead
what should
and
we
say
say?
It's Paphos. Paphos.
Paphos. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to get on to people about pronunciations, given some of the footballers' names we butcher.
Yeah, we
True.
do get
fair point.
We do get pulled up pretty much weekly on our piss pronunciations.
Nwanieri.
That's the main one.
Nwanieri, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Sorry.
Yeah, the people who tend to pull us up on those mispronunciations can't spell to save their lives in the tweet, so it's a bit of irony. But anyway, the draw is tomorrow at some point. It'll probably take the whole day. We're in pot 2, so we could get Bayern, the 2 of Bayern, Barca, Real Madrid. I know Inter Milan and Dortmund were the 2 that I picked of the 2 that I would like, just thinking of ease of progression. But we had PSG in the group stage last year. We were away to Inter Milan last year. They were the 2.
And we battered Real
2
Madrid.
finalists.
So.
The 2 finalists. But, so just Oh, actually, I say it's tomorrow morning. You're listening or watching this. It's not. It's already happened, probably. So, how did we do? Are we happy?
Can't wait to go to Bathos.
And did Grimsby hold on to their 2-0 lead? At
64 minutes. And Chris Sutton at half-time said Grimsby are battering. I wondered, did he know what he was doing there? Battering.
The fish.
Yes, Chris.
Clever. Yeah.
I'm not sure he did mean it, but, he might well have done. He's a bit mischievous like that, isn't he?
They both had the same number of shots on target. Just like to point that out.
Right. Okay. Well, good luck to Man United. Grimsby. Sorry, get confused. Yeah. I assume the draw for that's this week as well. We join the competition in the next round, so I assume that draw is at some point this week. If there are games, maybe tonight. Maybe the draw's tonight, in fact. But anyway, okay, we'll leave it there. We'll be back, I don't know, Sunday evening.
More like
from
Monday.
The coach, live from the coach. Steph, live from the coach. Singing.
If we won,
3-2
do you know what?
to the Arsenal. 3-2 to the and Gyökeres hat-trick, so his song, obviously. He comes from Sweden.
Oh, do you know what I'd like?
Very nice.
Eze from the bench, scoring a winner. Oh, dreamland.
A la Pires, top corner.
Oof.
Cut inside from the left, right foot, top corner. Is that our last win there?
Ooh, at Anfield, I'm not sure. No, we won 2-1 in a purple stripy line kit thing where Podolski and someone else scored. I can't remember who.
So, those of you who are not watching us, you need to watch us for this last segment because Chris has been somewhat upstaged by one of his daughters who doesn't realise that she's on camera as well, perhaps.
I'm just trying to maintain some dignity while we rap. And then I'll
deal with her
afterwards.
I'm deliberately delaying and pontificating the goodbye now. See how long this goes on for.
Right, let's do it.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hi, Chris's daughter, and we'll join us again in a few days' time. And come on the Arsenal on Sunday. Cheerio. Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye now. Say bye, Gaia.
See ya.
There you go. The North Bank, an Arsenal podcast. Subscribe, rate and review on your app and find us on your socials at North Bank Pod. Email hello@thenorthbankafc.com and check out our website, thenorthbankafc.com. Produced by the Podcast Company.